Hey everybody, Alex Osowski here with CoachMePlus for webinar number 12. If you haven't followed us on YouTube, of course feel free to hit that subscribe button, and also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also find content on the latest sports science and sports performance right on the CoachMePlus website, right in the CoachMePlus Academy section. So follow us all on social media, YouTube, and also check out what we're doing right on our website there, CoachMePlus.com. For webinar number 12, we're going to go through our usual schedule. We're going to go through a product review, we're going to go through our new features, and then our question and answer section. New features, we've been working on a lot of larger features, so we don't have any in between the last webinar and this one. That's completely fine because we're going to take a complete walkthrough in the first section here through the product review of the CoachMePlus Program Builder. So the CoachMePlus Program Builder will allow you to create a program template once and assign it out a bunch of different times, whether it is year to year or to a bunch of different athletes. You can certainly do that. From there, you can individualize each athlete's program and make modifications as needed, and then allow them to be able to view that on their mobile device, tablet, or on a centralized tablet as well. So whether it is building out an exercise library or creating a circuit or creating programs, we're going to walk through all of that right here today in webinar number 12. In our product review, we're going to go over the CoachMePlus Program Builder. In CoachMePlus right here at our main screen, we have all of our options right here, and we're going to stick primarily in the Program Builder today. But first, before we go there, I'm going to show you exactly what program we're going to be looking at. This is a printout of our basic strength and conditioning program right here. So we're going to build this program out. We got a warm-up circuit, a speed circuit, conditioning, and strength. So we're going to use all that and create a program template for us moving forward. So we're going to build out 3 days, and then we're going to copy those and learn how to create that program and then assign it out right inside CoachMePlus. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the Program Builder. When we're in our library here, we're going to see 3 different options here. We have exercises, circuits, and programs. First thing we're going to learn how to do is start to create our exercises. When we do that, we can go right in here, select exercises, and then our list will be brought up right here. As soon as that loads, you'll be able to see everyone that's already in here, and we have the basic default library set up, but we also have filters in here as well. So if I want to look at correctives, I can pull only those ones up. So the filters can stack, you can clear them out, and you can do that there. So you can also use the search functionality here. So if we're looking for something to start off, like in our program here, a high knee tug, we can certainly go in and look for that by searching it right here. We can view all the properties that it has right inside of the system there. So when we do that, we can go back and we can create our own exercises. Just clear out that search, and then we can create our own. So maybe this is Alex's high knee tug. And then we can set a default number of sets and reps. So maybe I want to do 1 set of 5 reps typically. I can add any notes I would like. I can add any attachment, so I can upload a file, whether I have a video, an image, or anything like that. But then I can also use that YouTube link right in here for it to open right inside of the CoachMePlus application as the athletes are completing it. Like I mentioned, you have any notes, so maybe it's a 30-second rest between, and I can add any tags. So if I have any of that right here, I can certainly do that as well. So my tags will help me organize those in my exercise library. And then down here, we have all of our properties that we could possibly add. So we have our weight, our distance, our duration, and our expected training load. So all of these will be useful to be able to use all of that right inside of the system. So when we do this, we're going to go for a distance, and I want to go for 10 meters, and we're going to select save. So now that exercise is saved and right inside of our library. So if I go in and I search that, Alex's high knee tug, it's right on in there for you and also your coaching staff to be able to use. If we're going to create another exercise with a 1 RM, we can certainly do that as well. Let's do Alex's front squat. Let's go 3 by 8. We can add our attachment if we wanted to, leave any notes, tag it in any way, but then we're going to add that weight property right there. When we do this, we can set a 1 rep max percentage to default to. So I'm just going to set it at 100. I don't want to designate weight. I want the system to calculate it for me. I can add that right in there. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in the baseline, and I'm going to select what baseline I'm using. So when we're entering in our 1 RM testing, this is the baseline it's going to reference. So we have our front squat right here, and then I have my calculated weight increment for every set as we go through a progression, if we set it up that way, and we can round up or down. Have that count towards tonnage. All you need to do is save, and you've successfully created a front squat that will use the CoachMePlus system to calculate 1 rep max values in the calculations for the programming that you're doing. If we go in here and look at another couple options here, we have duration. So you can add in hours, minutes, seconds. So if it's a half-hour run, you could do that. Or if it's a 30-second full-out sprint, you can do that as well. And then our expected training load, we can add in the expected load in total for this exercise. So we have a lot of different options right inside of our exercise menu. When we look at our front squat, for example, we can certainly change these at any point in time. So maybe it's 4 by 6. We can change that right inside of our library. Everything will remain the same, and we'll save that. Some other things we can do right inside of this exercise library is take one of these exercises, so maybe it's air squat, and copy it. So let's do Alex's air squat. We can copy that, and then we have our own exercise right here. So maybe we want it to be 5 by 10 by default. We can save that, and then we have our new exercise that we just copied right inside of here. So this one has a video to it. If we hit open, it will open up right inside of their application, and they'll be able to view it as an athlete. So after we've done that, we can create then our circuits. So again, in this library section right here, what we can do is create groupings of exercises, also known as circuits. So when we do that, we can look at all the ones that are already in here and go from there. Again, you have all your filters in here. So if I want to look at prehab, I don't have any in here, but if I want to go to endurance, I don't have any there, and strength, I have a bunch. So all these filters are right here. You can also search. So if I want to look at my Olympic cycles, I can certainly see that as well. From there, I can create a circuit if I would like. So I'm going to give my circuit title. We're going to use this program right here. So warm up day 1. And this is going to be a Monday, Wednesday, Friday program. Let's go day 1. Warm up. Give it a category. Let's have this as a warm up and hit save. When I do that, I can start adding in my exercises. So my first exercise there was a high knee tug. I'm going to use this, add it right in, and then it goes in. So we can continue to add on. So straight leg march, add that in. And I can certainly keep adding these as well. Forward, walking lunge. And then as soon as you kind of get the hang of this, it begins to speed on up. Walking, backward walking lunge and reach. We can do lateral lunges. We can add in our backward run, our shuffle, and lastly, our run. So when we do that, we have all of our exercises right in here. So we can see it all right inside the circuit. When we're looking at this, let me save this really quickly. We can see that there's all these properties in here that come straight over from the library. So we're looking at 1 by 1 at 15 meters. But say, for example, I wanted to change this run. Maybe, for example, I want to go 15 meters on this, but I want them to do five sprints at 15 meters or 5 runs at 15 meters. I can save that, and then we can modify those things right there as well. If, for example, you want to create a superset of these, you could do that right inside this menu using the 3 dots icon and then selecting Create, Make Superset. So when we do that, we can use these, and then you'll see the bracket go around the exercise, and then we can move exercises in or out as we please. So maybe, for example, I just want it to be those 2. I'm going to save that, and then I have my superset right in there as well. Inside of my circuits, I also have a few other different options. I can always change the title and category and add exercises, but of course I can copy this at any point that I would like. So if I had day 3 warm-up is slightly similar, just a couple different changes. I can copy this and then make modifications and rename it as needed. Save yourself a little time on that end. So when I do that, I can copy my circuit. Here, this 3 dots icon will allow you to see where the program or where the circuit is being used. It's not being used anywhere, so it's not going to show anything. And then we have our save option. We also have our move indicator, so we can move these around as needed. And then we also have things like deleting and create set progressions, which we'll get to in just a little bit. So we have our day 1 warm-up all set up. So let's save this really quickly. And then, so let's go day 1 warm-up is right here. We can go back in and edit that at any time we would like. So let's go day 1 speed now. Let's add our category to it, speed, and add in our exercises. So depth box jump. We're going to add in single leg box jump. And then we have single leg lateral box jump. So I have that right in here. But you'll notice I'm going 3 by 4 on these. So what we're going to need to do is change every single one we're doing. Add a rep, hit save, go in here, add a rep, hit save, and this lastly, take out a rep and hit save. So we successfully have created our speed circuit for the day. Next, we're going to do our conditioning circuit. So this is just our sprints right here. We're going to do 10 for a minute. So we're going to have 1 minute rest in between bouts as well. So this is our conditioning. Add in our category and add our exercise. Sprints. So we have 10 at 1 minute, and we're going to save that, just so it breaks it up into different tabs for our athlete. So day 1, what's our last one? Our strength circuit. I can add in a category, strength. I'm going to save that really quickly, and then we're good to go. So what we could do is add in high hang power clean. We're going to add in barbell front squat, and we're going to use our 1RM there. We're going to use our dumbbell single leg RDL. Our weighted sit-up. And lastly, our Superman. So we have all this right in here. When we're looking at it right here, 5 by 3 for the first 3 exercises. So we're going to change these 5 by 3. 5 by 3. 5x3. So we have those right in there. And then we can look at our other exercises as well. If we're looking at our barbell front squat here, we have 70% of our 1RM. If we want to create a set progression out of that, we can simply select that three dots icon and select create set progression. When we do that, we can see all of our sets and reps. So what we can do here is I want to remove this one. I want to modify this one. So 3 at 65, 3 at 60. And then let's clear this last one out and have it another 60. So we can copy it right there as well. We can add in new ones if we'd like. So we can add that right on in there, but I'm going to remove that. So I have everything I need right here. I'm going to go 70, 65, 60, 60. So I have that full set progression right there as well. Again, we're going to create another superset right here. Make superset, add this in, and then we're good. As you might have noticed, I had 6 exercises in here and not 5. So I forgot something. So it looks like high hang clean pull. We can add that in, and I'm just going to move that up after what exercise I need. So it's right there, and we are good to go. Change that to 5x3, and we're all set. So once we create our exercises and add our circuits, the next step then is to go in and set up a program. So we're going to back on out in our library here. We're going to go to our programs. So we're going to create a new program. Let's go S&C 2018 off season. Set our start date. So I know my off season starts on the 1st of October, and I'm going to save that. Once I save it, it'll allow me to start adding days to my program right here. As soon as you click on that first day, you're going to be brought here, in which you can quickly add exercises to a day if you didn't already create those circuits. But we created those circuits, so what we're going to do is we're going to add a circuit from the library. So day 1 warm-up. We can preview exactly what's in there, select that circuit, and it pops right in here. Then we're going to keep going down the line. So we got speed, day 1 speed. Select from library, day 1 conditioning, and day 1 strength. So we've successfully created our exercises, put them into circuits, and then created a program day out of them. So once we do that, we save that, and then our first day is good to go. If we wanted to move this down the line, down throughout the weeks, say my Mondays are the same for the next 3 weeks, we're going to save that, copy it on down, and then we have that exact same thing. If I wanted to modify these based off of my exercise library, so the second week, I'm going to make some changes to it. We're going to edit that circuit, and then customize specifically for this program. So we're going to hit customize, and we're going to remove these 2 exercises. Delete that on out, hit save, and then that second day, that second Monday that is, you'll be able to see that there are some modifications made to that. If we go in and add another day, and we didn't have our circuits made, what we can do is we can simply add a bunch of exercises. So we select the dumbbell icon right there. We can add in air squat. Let's do our high knee tug, and we can just add whatever exercises we would like. Click all those, add to circuit, and then they'll drop right in. That's how you quickly take a group of exercises all at once to drop into a program. We hit save, and we're good to go. But we're going to pop back into our Monday here and see some of the different options that we can do right inside of the program builder. So we saw that you can edit that circuit and change from the library, but you can also change that library circuit as well right inside of your program. So if I went here and I hit edit library circuit, you're editing that default setting that you have right in there. we saw that the dumbbell icon will allow you to quickly add exercises. The link here indicates whether it is a library circuit or a customized circuit. So week 1, it's not customized here. Week 2, it definitely is, so we can see that it's now customized. If we go back into our day here, we can see under the 3 dots icon, we can also remove circuits. So that's how you undo that. If, for example, we wanted to adjust relative intensity, we can do that as well. So if we went in here, relative intensity, we need to modify that down to 80% for the first time. We can save that. So now our relative intensity is at 80%. We're going to change that back to 100. And then also, if we wanted to move any of our circuits around, we have the up and down arrows right here as well. Let's save that day, and we can see what else we can do right here inside of the CoachMePlus program builder. So we saw that we can add circuits from our library, but say, for example, I just wanted to quickly create a bunch of exercises right inside of a circuit. I can certainly do that as well. I'm going to add that, and then so on. So I created one just right out of an exercise in which I can just drop quickly in the first time, and then I can add a bunch of different exercises in. If we wanted to take this first day and check out some of the other options we have, we can quickly make move supersets. So if I want to move this down, I can certainly do that as well. I can move exercises around right here. I can view the exercise videos as well. So all of that's available right inside of the program builder. If I select this 3 dots icon, I can see some of the different options I have here as well. So what I can do is, maybe I didn't like this Wednesday, I'm going to delete that day right out. So remove that day and we're good to go. If, for example, I went in here and added a bunch of exercises, add to circuit, and they're all right in here, I can copy this day. So I have another way of copying this day specifically to days that I'd like. So for example, I wanted to copy this to the 10th and copy this to the 17th. I can do that right in this menu as well as I'm looking at that day. So we go back, we check it out, it's right here. We go back into this menu, we're going to check out what else we can do. If I want to print this day out, I can certainly do that right in here, in which I can print that out specifically for this program day. Looks very similar to our athletes printout, but it's just for that program day. Then lastly, we can view our periodization. So let me save that really quickly. And then we have our periodization for this week. So this can be brought up on the weekly basis or on the daily basis, in which you can view volume, volume load, and intensity. So that's right inside of the program day. If I wanted to view that on the overall program, I can select it right here using the View Periodization button. Opens up the same menu, and then you can view each one. So if, for example, we're looking at week 3 right here, I want to look at week 1 of October, I can select that one, and it'll switch me over, and I can see exactly what's going on the daily basis. If I wanted to modify Monday, I can edit that right inside of this view. So it's going to take me here really quickly and then put me in the day that I'd like. So the periodization will allow you to do that. Some of the other options you have is you can copy this program. So say, for example, I want to do this S&C 2019 for the next year. We're going to copy that. It's going to pull me into my new program, and I can see it right here. So as I select that, I'll see it's exactly the same, and we're going to flip back to our calendar view, exactly the same, and I can just edit my start date. So we have our new program here, we can edit our start date. So say, for example, we want to look for next year's October off season, so it's always the first Monday. I can hit that and select save. So we now have a program template for this year and next year. As we select S&C 2018 again, we have other options here as well. We can edit our title. We can toggle if this is skippable for our athletes. So when disabled, this athlete must complete missed days before they're allowed to skip to the current day. We can archive this program, so if we want to delete this out of our program list here, we can certainly do that as well. So our 2019 one, we can see, okay, I want to archive this. I'm not ready to use that yet. It's archived and it can't be seen by athletes. So we take that. We're just going to go back into our 2018, and then we can also adjust other things as well here. I have my list view. So however you like to look at your program, you can do that right here as well. You can add days using the calendar or the plus button in this view as well. And lastly, the assigning of programs. So the people icon will allow you to do that. So when we go to the people icon here, we'll see who it's assigned to. I don't have anybody assigned to it yet, but for example, I'm going to go and assign this to my athletes. So I can search them right in here. I'm going to assign this to Cole, or I can assign it to a group of athletes all at once. So maybe, for example, I want to do all of my defensemen and all of my goalies. I can add it to one, I can add it to many, and I can hit assign. I can modify the start date from the default, and I can also choose to prompt this on the home screen, or if they go into their actual list of programs, they'll have to view it there. So we assign this out, and then we can see that all of our athletes are starting Monday, October 1st on this program. We can assign it to a bunch of athletes. We can assign it to a few athletes. It doesn't matter. Let's add Michael here. And maybe Michael's not coming in till the week after. We can edit, and we can edit the start date so it shifts all his days down a week. So we can see that, okay, I have these 3 guys starting on the 1st and Michael's starting on the 8th. From there, I can go to their program assignment. I can pause their program, or I can archive it. So pausing it will allow you to temporarily disable being able to complete the exercise, and the athletes will be able to access the system without doing their program. Archive will delete the program completely. So say, for example, I didn't want Lincoln doing this. I can archive that, and then he's removed from the assignments. So we can use this to navigate directly to our program assignment for Cole, for example. I'm actually just going to save this, and we're going to take a trip into the athletes section. So we go back on out here into our main program menu, where we kind of split off to our library or our individual athletes. We're going to go into that athletes section. So as we can see here in our athletes section, we're able to see everybody that we have in the system and then search them if we have permissions to view. So when we do that, we select Cole. We can go in and see exactly what programs are assigned to him. The S&C 2018 off-season, we can view right here. And then just like in the library, we can individualize specifically for Cole. So we can edit for everyone, as in the library program, or we can customize. We can customize this specifically for Cole. So say, for example, he's unable to sprint because of an injury he sustained. We can go in and we can remove our sprints here. Remove that, hit save, and then Cole's program has been customized. You'll be able to see, you can see the different modifications and the differences between the two, and you can see, okay, this icon indicates that it's customized. We can, of course, do everything we normally can do: archive, pause, toggle the prompt, everything that we expect to do inside of the actual program overall view. But if we wanted to revert this back to how it was in the library, we can certainly do that using the 3 dots icon. So we can go in, we can modify as needed, or make any changes that we would necessarily need to make. If we have our athlete baseline and we have it right in here, it will show the exact weight for this specific athlete. So we don't have a baseline set up. So if we're looking at his front squat, we can enter in a 1RM. So edit that in right in line, and then what we'll do is we'll just add that in, and then you'll see, okay, it's now at 180, 167.5, and 155, based on those percentages that we just set in the 1RM baseline. We can save that, and then we're good to go. So all of that is creating a program inside of the program builder. So we went over creating an exercise with attachments, or also creating exercises with 1RMs. We also went over creating a circuit or a group of exercises using supersets, set progressions, and also changing the set orders. We went over creating an actual program, copying those days around, looking at periodization, making modifications on a day-to-day basis. Then we took that program assigned it to one athlete, we assigned it to many athletes. We also changed the start dates. We're able to pause, archive, all of that right inside of that menu. Then we moved over into Cole here, individualized that program. We were able to make modifications specifically for Cole and everything like that. Enter in an athlete baseline all right here inside of the CoachMePlus program builder. Built for you to build those programs once and assign them a bunch of different times and make your life a lot easier and spend less time on the computer here. So we've created the program and everything, but now how is our athlete going to be able to access our program? So what we're going to do is we're going to leave this, and we'll be able to see when they're on their application, they'll view it right inside of there, but we also have our team access points. So how does this program look on the actual athlete's experience? So I'm going to use it through a team access point of view. So if I have my team access point set up where I can view it here, I can go to Cole here, and he can see exactly what he has assigned for the day. So his assignments are going to load up. We have everything right here. So we have these current programs, but then we can look down the line into the future and see on that October 1st, we can complete his program. So when we do that, we have the S&C Offseason 2018 Day 1. This is the first day we created. And then you can see all those categories that we added. They're all right on up here. So we took his conditioning out, but all those categories are the different tabs here. As he's completing, he can see, okay, high knee tug 1x1 at 15. We can complete that, and boom, we're on to the next exercise. All the athletes can edit any of the constraints that are right in there. You have reps, you also have distance. You can edit any of those, say you're completed it, see it in the past. So if I look, okay, I don't have any exercise history, but if I did, I can do that. I can leave any notes, so if anything felt uncomfortable or if I have anything I need to relay back to my coach, I can add that right in here. Complete that, and then we're good to go. When we do that, we can see those right in line here. We can add in whatever exercises we'd like. So if I go in and I say, you know what, coach, I added X, Y, and Z to my program for the day. So let's go to ankle circles because I was feeling a little bit stiff. And we can add that right in there. If we're looking at our 1RM exercises, we can see that those calculate out right for me in my app. And I can see, okay, this first set is 3 reps at 180. Okay, we're going to complete that. Second set is 3 reps at 167.5. We're going to complete that. So the 1RMs will calculate out right for you on your end and on your athlete's end. When they go in and look at those, they can see what they've done in the past and make changes as needed. So say, for example, they need to down this weight a little bit. Let's go 145. You can save that, and then they can make modifications on their end as well. So it's all right here inside of the athlete experience of going through the actual program. They can, of course, print this out as they'd like on their end and also complete all exercises at once. So, for example, they did print it out and they completed everything and they didn't want to go in and everything was all set right inside the system, they can complete all right there. So that's how the athlete's going to see the program. So we've created the program, we've assigned the program, there's been completion of the program. Now we can check exactly what has been going on. So as a coach, you can go in and see, okay, I have my stallions, and I'm going to go look at Cole. We can see all our dashboards load up by default, so I have everything right in here. But I can also see different things depending on what I'm looking at. But in my training tab right here, I can see what has been done. So, for example, I want to look at my report going to October 3rd. And I can see that right in here. So we're going to collapse this, and keep going until I find what I'm looking for. So Monday, October 1st program, I completed these 2. I have my note right here. I have all my sets, reps, distance, duration, all that fun stuff, and then also what's been completed. We saw that these things we made modifications to, they're all right in here that we saw. So I added my other exercise as well. So that's been a complete walkthrough of creating a program, assigning a program, individualizing a program, completing the program, and actually viewing the program feedback as well. If you'd like any demo of the system and anything like that where you can go through, play with it yourself, and be able to use this system with your athletes, of course, visit us at CoachMePlus.com. We can help you out with that solution as well. Quick and easy way to create and distribute programs right inside of an online platform for you to be able to use. So CoachMePlus webinar number 12, again, only the product review here. We don't have any new features. So at this point, we can move into our question and answer section. This is only for our live viewers. Of course, if you have any questions, you can do it right through the YouTube chat. But if not, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and check out our website, thecoachmeplus.com, where you can see the CoachMePlus Academy. You can view our different product suites and everything that you need to be able to view in an athlete management software, all in one centralized location. Let's move on in to the question and answer section.